It's hard to believe a year has passed since our community suffered the loss of a true Eishes Chayil, a woman of valor, named Carrie Greenberg, a blessed memory. The love and devotion Carrie showed her adoring husband, Stuart, their charming daughter, Jacqueline, and delightful grandchildren, Benjamin and Talia, were matched only by the manner in which they reflected it right back at her. Kamayim panim el panim, says King Solomon. As water reflects a face back to a face, so is one's heart reflected back to them by another. Carrie had a way of engendering such reciprocal feelings within every person she met. She was constantly involved in worthy causes and community affairs. For her wide circle of friends, and for those of us who attend Chabad of Oak Park, the void in our hearts in the wake of Carrie's passing is as gaping as ever. Warm and gracious, friendly and hospitable, colorful and classy, genuine and down-to-earth, Carrie was a beacon of light that drew people close and made her home a favorite destination for those seeking great company or a delicious meal. A superb cook and exquisite baker, she shared generously of her gifts, never knowing just how many guests her affable husband might invite back with him from shul on a Friday night. She was always ready with her welcoming smile and more than ample supply of tasty dishes and desserts. Every Wednesday night, when we held a class on Jewish mysticism at the Greenberg home, Carrie always had a tray of freshly baked pastries waiting at the center of the table. While I'd like to think folks were showing up for the learning, something tells me it was more about Carrie's baked goods. That class continues to this day. We call it Chana's Legacy Hasidic Discourses series. But truth be told, Stuart's store-bought babka and potato chips are not quite measuring up. Every year before Shavuot, Carrie would bake a variety of tantalizing cheesecakes that would make the Cheesecake Factory blush and deliver them to the shul for the holiday. Last year, just before the holiday, while in the throes of her illness, Carrie texted what would be her final message to me. Unfortunately, I will not be able to bake the cheesecakes this year for Shavuot, she wrote. I haven't been feeling well, but Stuart and I would like to donate to cover the expense. That's a class act. That's dignity. That's love. That's Carrie Greenberg. Caring, sensitive, and thoughtful to the end. She will forever be missed. Tonight, Chabad of the Conejo is proud to present a memorial tribute to Carrie Greenberg, to be accepted by her husband, Stuart Greenberg. Please watch.
Chabad of the Conejo and the Oak Park community mourn the loss of a true woman of valor, Carrie Greenberg.
My mom was always so proud. She was born and raised in the San Fernando Valley, so I guess she's considered a Valley girl. She had two loving parents who I was very close with, and she had a brother as well. Went on a blind date with my dad. They had mutual friends that set them up.
It was everything I was looking for. She was a great gal. She very friendly, very outgoing, comfortable to be with. The conversation just kept going. There was no awkward moments.
Parents were raised Jewish, but very secular. And then they got married, and they both knew that Jewish education was important to them. So I went to Jewish day school as a kid.
So our Jewish journey together started with very little. And then I had my CE, my Chabad encounter.
My parents, personality-wise, were very different from each other, but somehow they made their marriage work. They were married for 40 years.
Meeting this wonderful woman who had joy in her life, her priorities set very straight, and I remember from way back when, one of the first things I noticed about Carrie was that her love of family superseded everything.
And a true Eishes Chayil. She was so warm and so giving and would be there for anyone in need. And Carrie was just someone who was always there for me and my family.
It was so nice to have somebody, motherly figure, in California, in a new city that I just moved into. And she really just kind of helped me get some strength.
Carrie was totally inviting. If I said, hey, I brought so-and-so home for Shabbos, or can so-and-so stay for the weekend, or can they stay for the summer, she was all on board.
She wasn't all about herself. She was open for everyone. She made everyone feel so welcome and so good about themselves. That's I think the biggest accomplishment of Carrie, that she made each and every person feel good about themselves.
And Carrie was the one that did it. I'm not I don't cook. Carrie was a master, she was a master in the kitchen.
She was a fighter, and even, when it came to all of her illnesses, she never said, why me, poor me. She always just said, kept going. This is just another step in my life, and I have to get through it. And I have my daughter, and I have, later in life, it was her grandkids.
I used to take her to Cedar Sinai to get care, to get medical care. And before we'd go, she would go to the bakeries and buy pastries and things for all the people that she'd interact with. The staff, she'd walk in with bags of pastries and rogalach and things to give everybody else. She always was giving and supportive and warm.
Everything that she went through, and the smile on her face, and the never complaining, and always looking for the positive and looking forward, and knowing that one day she would have grandkids, and that was her most important thing. And
Carrie was the queen of everything culinary. I mean, she cooked and she baked, and she was amazing.
The idea came to make a cookbook of her recipes shortly after she had passed away.
It's absolutely fabulous recipes, and it's all the recipes that she actually used.
And everybody got the cookbook, and it's wonderful. It sits on my kitchen table, and I love it.
Carrie had a quilt that she was working on for the past probably 15 years. I call it her masterpiece. She never quite finished it.
this quilt, when it's completed, will be the cover of the Ark in the synagogue, and will be cherished, and Carrie will be remembered every Shabbos.
A lot of love. That's why this year has been very difficult, because we truly love each other.
We miss you, Mom, and we love you so much.
We are now honored to have Stuart Greenberg with us here in studio to accept the memorial tribute to his late wife, Carrie, on behalf of the Greenberg family. The engraving reads, "Remembrance of the righteous brings blessing." Proverbs chapter 10, verse 7. Presented to the Greenberg family in loving memory of Carrie Greenberg, a blessed memory. Her flame of goodness, kindness, warmth, friendship, and hospitality shall forever shine brightly in our community and illuminate the lives of those touched by her dignity and grace. Chabad of the Conejo, Hineni Virtual Gala, June 15th, 2022.
Thank you, Rabbi Levine. Rabbi Levine, rabbis and rebbitzins of Chabad, and the friends and family who are joining us this evening. Thank you so much for this amazing memorial tribute to our beloved Carrie. I say ours because Carrie was much greater than just my spouse or mom to Jacqueline and Max and Benjamin and Talia's Grammy. She was and will always be a very big part of this wonderful Chabad of the Conejo community. All our lives are so much better for it. May her memory be a blessing to us, to all of Israel, and mankind.
Thank you, Stuart, and God bless you, Jacqueline, Max, and the grandkids, and all who hold a special place in their hearts for Carrie. In recent years, we've been going through some difficult times, but rather than sink down low in despair and desperation, I think Carrie Greenberg would be the first to tell us to rise up high like the waves, in spite of the ache. Rise up and do it 1,000 times again. Friends, draw closer to your screen, turn up the volume, and listen as the incredible Shulem Lemmer performs the rousing song, Rise Up.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find that fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move the mountains, we gonna walk it out. Move the mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. Oh, we will rise, we will rise, yeah, we will rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times.